February 19th, 1945, 6:12 a.m. Iwo Jima, Pacific Ocean. A dense, ghostly fog clings to the volcanic ridges, swallowing the beaches in eerie gray. Marines grip their rifles, knuckles white, hearts pounding like war drums. Every breath hangs in the cold air. Every step is weighted with tension. Then through the crackling, static-laden radio waves, a voice speaks. Buzzard inbound, iron fish spotted. To the Japanese defenders, it is utterly meaningless, a confusing jumble of sounds that provides no hint of the incoming assault. But for the U.S. Marines, it is a lifeline, a coded message in the unbreakable Navajo language. Every syllable carries tactical orders, coordinates, and intelligence that could save lives or doom them. In this moment, the fiercest weapon is not the artillery nor the tanks. It is the voice of a code talker, decipherable only to those trained in this secret language. The sun starts to pierce the fog, casting jagged shadows across the ridges. Explosions roar in the distance, yet the true power lies unseen. The unbreakable words of Navajo soldiers guiding the Marines through chaos, death, and the unknown. Every second is a race. Every word could turn the tide of battle. The true secret weapon of the Pacific Theater is not a new battleship, tank, or bomber. It is the Navajo Code. Conceived in 1942, this living language became an unbreakable communication system, a force multiplier that turned ordinary words into deadly precision tools. Across the islands of the Pacific, from Guadalcanal to Iwo Jima, U.S. commanders relied on the Navajo Code Talkers to transmit orders faster than Morse code and immune to interception. Artillery coordinates, troop movements, supply requests, everything flowed through these voices. Even if Japanese intelligence intercepted the transmissions, the code was completely unintelligible, a linguistic fortress that no cryptographer could breach. The code talkers were more than messengers. They were strategists, lifelines, and unsung heroes, their language weaving the fabric of operational success. Without them, countless missions might have faltered. With them, victories became possible, and Japanese forces were repeatedly thwarted by a weapon they could neither see nor touch. By late 1942, the Pacific War had become a deadly labyrinth of islands, volcanic ridges, dense jungles, and heavily fortified Japanese positions. U.S. forces faced constant ambushes, concealed machine guns, and deadly sniper fire, while supply lines stretched over treacherous seas. Traditional codes proved too slow, too rigid, and far too vulnerable. Even the best cryptographic methods could be intercepted or broken, risking catastrophic losses in men and material. Amid this chaos, the Navajo Code Talkers emerged, a small, elite team of young Navajo men who transformed their native language into an unbreakable weapon of war. Each phrase was painstakingly designed to represent military concepts: ironfish for submarine, buzzard for bomber, chicken hawk for fighter plane. The code was living, adaptive, and utterly alien, impossible for enemy intelligence to decipher, even when prisoners were captured. In the humid jungles, on scorched beaches, and across jagged volcanic ridges, every transmitted message was a heartbeat of life or death. Miscommunication could lead to annihilation. Delayed orders could cost entire squads. Yet the code talkers delivered every message with unerring accuracy, coordinating infantry, artillery, and air support across miles of hostile terrain. Japanese commanders, confident in their numbers and intelligence networks, were repeatedly blindsided. They could not predict troop movements, intercept reinforcements, or anticipate strategic maneuvers. Time and again, the Navajo Code Talkers turned confusion into tactical advantage, creating chaos among enemy lines without firing a single shot themselves. The Navajo Code Talkers' communication system was deceptively simple, yet strategically revolutionary, transforming an ancient language into a living, untouchable weapon of war. Initial team, 29 Navajo men handpicked for intelligence, loyalty, and fluency. Expanded to over 400 over the course of the war. Vocabulary: more than 600 Navajo words painstakingly assigned to military terms. Iron fish for submarine, buzzard for bomber, chicken hawk for fighter plane, turtle for tank, silver eagle for reconnaissance aircraft. Transmission method: entirely oral, near instantaneous, faster than Morse code or any traditional cipher, impossible for enemies to intercept or misinterpret. Security: no written records, no paper trails. Without fluency in Navajo, every message was incomprehensible to the Japanese. Comparison to other cryptography systems: Germany's Enigma machine, although highly sophisticated, could be broken with persistent effort by Allied cryptographers. Japanese ciphers, despite their ingenuity, fell utterly short against a living, adaptive language, entirely foreign and intuitive only to the code talkers. Unlike mechanical or static ciphers, the Navajo code was dynamic, human, and nearly impossible to decode, making it the most secure battlefield communication system of World War II. Every message delivered by the code talkers was instantaneous, secure, and precise, shaping operational strategy across islands, jungles, and ridges. While artillery, tanks, and aircraft dominated the battlefield, this invisible linguistic weapon created tactical advantages that no conventional armament could achieve. Japanese commanders, blind to these messages, repeatedly misjudged troop movements, reinforcements, and offensive strategies, falling victim to a weapon they could neither see nor counter. February 19, 1945, 7:15 a.m. Iwo Jima, Pacific Ocean. Private Joe Bigai, a young Navajo code talker, crouches behind a jagged volcanic ridge, sweat streaming down his face, ears ringing from their explosions around him. The roar of artillery, the scream of bullets, and the cries of wounded Marines create a chaotic symphony. But Bigay's mind is razor sharp. Every word he speaks in Navajo carries life or death. Coordinates for artillery, troop movement, and casualty evacuation are relayed instantly, with precision no machine could match. As waves of Marines surge forward under relentless fire, Bigay transmits orders. Iron fish spotted at Northern Cove, buzzard inbound at 0730 hours. Within seconds, U.S. artillery adjusts, shells land with devastating accuracy, and Japanese positions erupt in confusion. The enemy, listening through intercepted signals, cannot decipher a single command, while every syllable of Navajo guides Marines through treacherous lava flows, minefields, and fortified bunkers. Nearby, Sergeant Frank Sosi coordinates a flank maneuver. Silver Eagle approaching, Northern Ridge secure. Troops respond instantly, moving into position, fire synchronized with artillery, and reinforcements arrive exactly where needed. The Japanese, blind to these messages, are caught repeatedly off guard. Chaos reigns in their ranks, and the tide of battle shifts with each code transmitted. Amidst the smoke, fire, and deafening roar of combat, the code talkers remain composed, their voices a calm, invisible force slicing through the chaos. One message at a time, They weave the battlefield into a controlled, almost choreographed operation, saving countless lives and turning what could have been a slaughter into a strategic victory. The unbreakable language of the Navajo becomes the silent hero of Iwo Jima, guiding Marines step by step towards success. February 19, 1945, 9 a.m., Iwo Jima, Pacific Ocean. The battle reaches a fever pitch. Explosions erupt across the blackened beaches, and the air is thick with smoke, dust, and the screams of men fighting for survival. Amid the chaos, the Navajo Code Talkers continue to transmit, their voices calm yet urgent, slicing through the pandemonium like blades. Private Joe Begay relays the positions of Japanese fortifications, while Sergeant Sosi coordinates a flanking maneuver that catches the enemy completely off guard. Every syllable of the Navajo Code directs the Marines' every movement with pinpoint precision. Artillery shells land exactly where needed, infantry avoids hidden minefields, and reinforcement units arrive just in time to seal gaps in the line. By midday, Japanese defenders are thrown into total disarray, their communications intercepted and their positions predicted. They suffer devastating losses. Marine casualties are heavy, but the tide of the battle has irrevocably turned. The Code Talkers' messages have shattered Japanese confidence, leaving officers bewildered and troops demoralized. For the first time, the unbreakable language proves its full power. A handful of voices, a secret weapon without parallel, have dictated the outcome of one of the bloodiest battles in the Pacific. The Marines push forward with new vigor, and by evening, key positions on Iwo Jima are secured. The Japanese, stunned and unable to respond effectively, watch as their defensive network collapses under the unseen hand of the Navajo Code Talkers. The battle at Iwo Jima was more than a clash of armies. It was a demonstration of the transformative power of intelligence and communication. The Navajo Code Talkers, few in number yet unmatched in impact, turned their native language into a weapon that the enemy could neither see nor anticipate. Every transmitted word dictated the movement of Marines, the timing of artillery, and the orchestration of reinforcements, shaping the battlefield in real time. Japanese commanders, relying on conventional codes and intelligence networks, found themselves completely outmaneuvered. Their strategies, meticulously planned, crumbled against an unseen opponent. The psychological effect was profound. Soldiers who thought they were prepared suddenly faced an invisible hand guiding every American maneuver. Confidence eroded, fear grew, and confusion spread through the enemy ranks, all because of voices that the Japanese could not understand. The lessons from the Code Talkers extend beyond Iwo Jima, or even the Pacific Theater. They reveal that human ingenuity and cultural knowledge can be weaponized, creating decisive advantages that outstrip raw firepower or numerical superiority. A small team, armed with a unique skill and unwavering discipline, can reshape the outcome of entire campaigns, save countless lives, and shift the momentum of war itself. In the broader context of World War II, the Navajo Code Talkers embodied a new kind of warfare: intelligence as the deadliest weapon, secrecy as a force multiplier, and communication as the key to victory. Their work proved that battles are not won by sheer might alone, but by strategy, innovation, and the ability to exploit every advantage, visible or invisible. The unbreakable language of the Navajo became the silent architect of victory, a force whose presence was felt across the Pacific, yet largely invisible to the world. It reshaped the way military operations would be conceived, proving that in war, knowledge, creativity, and precision can be just as lethal as guns and bombs. As the smoke clears over Iwo Jima and the island falls into the hands of U.S. forces, one truth remains indisputable. The unbreakable language of the Navajo Code Talkers changed the course of the Pacific War. Their voices, invisible yet unstoppable, saved countless lives and secured victories that might otherwise have been impossible. This story is a testament to the power of human ingenuity, courage, and secrecy. It reminds us that in war, victory is not always determined by sheer numbers or firepower, but by creativity, precision, and the will to turn intelligence into a weapon. Join us as we uncover more untold stories of World War II, where courage and innovation shaped the fate of nations. The Navajo Code Talkers were not just messengers. They were architects of victory, and their legacy echoes through history.